This story starts with a boy that was born and grew up in the United Kingdom, in Scotland. He grew up and lived in a small town of Houston with a population of around 6,500 people. Houston is about 20 minutes from Glasgow, which is the biggest city closest to where he grew up. Dan went to school in Houston throughout his childhood, and during that time, he made a passion for the game we call soccer. As a child, Dan remembers always coming to America on vacation. He remembers it being his favorite place to go on vacation. As a child, Dan went to Florida, New York, and California, all multiple times. California was Dan's favorite place he visited in America as a child. He remembers being on the beach in California, thinking how clean and beautiful it was there. From that day forward, he knew he wanted to live in America. After high school, Dan had to make a decision about what he wanted to do next. He decided he wanted to fulfill his dream of playing soccer at the next level, but also wanted to get a degree and go to school. Dan made the decision to come to the United States to play soccer and to get an education. He said, "This is something that does not happen back at home. At home, college soccer is a joke." Dan first attended St. Andrews University in North Carolina. He was playing soccer there, but he soon realized that that place was not for him. He did not like anything about being there. He says, "The school wasn't the nicest, the soccer team wasn't the best, the head coach wasn't the smartest, and the area wasn't the best either," and soon lost all interest in being there. Coming to America with the sole purpose of playing soccer and getting a degree in America was Dan's goal. The school was not providing him with any of this, and Dan was stressed, confused, and upset. He didn't know what he was going to do next. He didn't know if he was going to return home to Scotland or find a school to transfer to that was still in America. Dan ended up transferring to University of Houston, Victoria, down in Texas. Dan stayed there playing on their men's team until he graduated with a degree. He enjoyed it there and found it to be like a home. After being there, he did not want to leave the United States. Over the years while playing soccer, Dan says he has grown a passion for coaching soccer, and there's no better place to pursue that than in America. So he decided to look for a place in America where he could coach here. He decided to coach at a college and earn his master's degree. That is when he found St. Ambrose University. Dan is currently attending SAU and is in the IT master's program here, while he is the assistant coach for the women's soccer team. He's moving towards his goal that he talks about. Dan states, "My long-term goal is to be a head coach at a top college in America. My plan has always been to create a life here in America. I've wanted this since I came out here for college. I've seen way too many people who are from the UK come here to play college soccer, rave about the experience, and then end up back in the UK. I want to make sure that does not happen to me." While going through college, Dan has experienced many different scenarios, but has loved almost everything about America and wants to build a life here for the long run. Reflecting back on his life here so far, Dan is very glad he has come to America and does not regret it at all. When it comes to the differences, there are a few things that he talks about. One difference that Dan talks about is the education system in America. He explains, "The degrees are a lot harder and more time consuming than they are in America and Scotland." He talks about how he would have never been able to get to where he is today if he did not come to America for education, so he was thankful for this option that he was able to do this. Along with the difference in education, Dan thought the food here in America was crazy. He loved how he could get anything he wanted, that there was so many different options here. He liked how he could get Mexican, American, Chinese, Thai, all these different kinds of food, and they were in such a close range. Dan also mentioned how the portion sizes here in America are way different. He says that in America you get way more food for the price than you do in Scotland. With mostly good differences in the change between the UK and America, Dan has noticed some things that he likes better in the UK than he does in America. One of those is he has a problem with the transportation here. Back in the UK, he says the transportation was easy and everywhere. There were trains, buses, cars, anything really, and it was easy access to get to these things. This makes transportation really easy in the UK. Dan says in his experience here in the United States, he has had many problems with transportation. He says you can easily live without a car in Scotland, but there's no chance that you can do that in America. One other thing Dan mentioned about the transportation difference in America and the UK is that in the UK you drive on the left side of the road and in America you drive on the right. Growing up, Dan always drove on the left side of the road, and coming to America, he had to now remember to always be on the right side of the road, which can always be a tricky transition. Another thing that Dan does not like about America is healthcare. He thinks the healthcare here in America is insane, and that Scotland does it in a way more convenient way for people. In America, insurance is way too expensive, and when you go to see a doctor, it is also so expensive. Where in Scotland, everyone pays a small tax every year, and then whenever you need to go to the doctor, you go with no cost. Dan thinks this is a way better way of doing healthcare and that America should be similar to Scotland. The only other thing Dan has came across in America that has caused a problem is his accent. Dan has a British accent, and it can be a problem only some of the times, though. People often mishear him when he is talking because they don't understand his accent, and this can be very frustrating. However, for the most part, he says his accent is cherished. He says that a lot of people love his accent and compliment it. He also mentions how he has gotten many free things due to his accent. Dan says that he cannot even remember how many times he has gotten free food because of his accent, and he has also got other free things because people think his accent is cool. Overall, Dan has had a positive and great experience in America and does not regret anything at all. He has learned so much and he is so glad he's had the opportunity to come here. We followed Dan through his story of growing up in the UK, coming to America for school, and have seen what his future goals are and how he wants to stay in America. By doing this project, I've realized a lot. I never realized how different America was from other countries, and the differences are really cool to think about. Another thing I didn't realize is how so many people want to come to America because of how we are here. I think that having opportunities like Dan has had is a great way to get people coming here, and I hope he continues pushing towards his goals so he can change and make his life here. I found speaking with Dan very interesting and rewarding because I found out so much about him and his culture back at home. I am going to continue doing this, whether it's in my classroom with my students in the future or with just people I meet from around the world. I will have conversations with them because learning about where they're from and what it's like there is very interesting and also important to do.